What if I told you a millionaire can still feel broke, while someone with $5 million may never need to work again? Money doesn't improve life in a smooth line. It changes in sudden jumps. At one level, a broken phone can wreck your month. At another, your alarm clock loses its power over you. Today, we're climbing through 10 completely different lives, from under $1,000 to the richest people alive. And what really changes at each one isn't the money. It's your fears, your freedom, your time, even the kind of problems you get to have, and the final level is almost impossible to imagine. Let's begin at the bottom. Level 1, under $1,000. Imagine waking up tomorrow with less than $1,000 to your name. Not in savings, to your name. Everything you own could fit in a couple of bags. The first thing you'd notice is the math. It never stops. It runs quietly in the back of your head all day long. Can you afford the bus, or do you walk? Is that ache in your tooth going to become a bill you can't pay? You don't plan your week. You plan your next few hours. At this level, there's no safety net. None. A flat tire isn't an inconvenience. It's a catastrophe that can knock over every other part of your life like dominoes. A sick day means lost pay. A broken phone might mean a lost job. Small problems don't stay small down here because there's no cushion to absorb them. And here's what most people never realize. Being poor is expensive. You buy the cheap shoes because that's all you can afford, and they fall apart in 3 months, so you buy them again. You can't buy in bulk. You pay fees for cashing checks because you have no bank account. Poverty charges you a tax that wealthier people never even see. But even here, people laugh. They fall in love. They find joy in a good meal or a free afternoon in the sun. Level 2, around $10,000. It doesn't sound like much, but waking up here feels like your shoulders drop an inch for the first time in years. You have a few things now. A used car that mostly runs. A phone that isn't cracked. Maybe a small cushion in the bank. A few $100s set aside for emergencies. And that cushion changes how your mind works. You can breathe out. A little. The background math is still there, but it's quieter. When something breaks, you don't panic instantly. You have options. Not many, but some. That's the real gift of this level. Not the stuff, the options. Still, you're fragile. One serious setback, a car engine dying, a medical bill, a month without work, and you're right back to the bottom. You know this, so you hold on tightly. But something new has appeared in your thinking. For the first time, you're not just surviving today, you're starting to wonder about next year. Level 3. Around $100,000. Now you wake up with a six-figure net worth, $100,000. And you probably feel like you've made it. You have a reliable car that starts every morning without a prayer. You have a real emergency fund. You've started putting money into a retirement account, and watching that number tick upward feels genuinely good. Doctor's visits don't terrify you. You can pick where to live with a bit more freedom. Life here feels comfortable and steady. You have a routine. You have weekends that feel like weekends. You're doing what you were told to do, and it's working. But here's the insight almost nobody expects. At $100,000, you are not rich. Not even close. In fact, this is the level where many people feel the most financial anxiety of their entire lives. Because you finally have something to lose. When you had nothing, there was nothing to protect. Now you lie awake wondering if it's enough, comparing yourself to neighbors, feeling behind. The comfort is real, but so is the pressure. Level 4, around $500,000, $500,000. Wake up here, and for the first time, something quietly incredible is happening while you sleep. Your money is starting to work. You have real home equity. Your investments have grown big enough that they earn meaningful amounts on their own. On a good year in the market, your accounts might grow by more than you could save from your salary. Listen to that again. Your money is beginning to out-earn you. The daily texture of life is calmer. That constant hum of financial worry has faded into the background. You take proper vacations without guilt. You can absorb a surprise bill and barely feel it. Best of all, you have choices at work. You can turn down the toxic boss. You can take the lower-paid job you actually love because you're no longer trapped by every paycheck. This is the level where money stops being just something you earn and starts being something that earns for you. It's a doorway. And once you step through it, the goal quietly changes from making money to something far more interesting. Level 5, $1 million. The millionaire. The word itself carries a lifetime of images. Mansions, yachts, champagne. So wake up with $1 million and prepare to be surprised because it probably looks nothing like that. Here's the truth that shocks people. Most millionaires live remarkably ordinary lives. They shop at normal supermarkets. They drive sensible, paid-off cars. Many of your neighbors could be millionaires and you'd never guess because their wealth isn't on display. It's tied up in a home and a retirement account growing quietly out of sight. $1 million in the world today puts you among the wealthiest slice of humans on the planet. And yet the person holding it often doesn't feel rich at all. They feel secure, comfortable, free from the fear that ruled the lower levels, but financial independence, the ability to never work again, isn't guaranteed here. It depends on how they live. So the supercar fantasy? Most real millionaires quietly laugh at it. They know something you're about to learn. Level 6, $5 million. This is where a profound line gets crossed, and it has almost nothing to do with luxury. At this level, for most people, work becomes optional. Let that land. The alarm clock loses its power over you. Your investments now generate enough income on their own shown that you could, if you chose, simply live off them for the rest of your life. You wake up and the day is genuinely yours to shape. Life feels spacious. You have premium healthcare, top schools for your kids, the freedom to live almost anywhere you like. But the real change is internal. When money stops being the thing you chase, a strange new awareness arrives. You start to notice that time, not money, is the thing you're actually short of. This is the great inversion. Below this level, people trade their time to get money. Here, people start trading their money to get time back. They pay others to handle the chores, the errands, the noise, buying back hours of their own lives. Level 7, $20 million. Now, luxury stops being a special occasion and simply becomes the background of your life. Wake up here and you might own more than one home. A place in the city, somewhere by the water, maybe an apartment in another country entirely. You probably own a business or a serious stake in several. You don't manage your own money anymore. Professionals do that for you, quietly steering a small fortune while you focus on other things. Your children go to private schools. Travel means skipping the queues and the crowds. But something more interesting happens up here too. You start giving money away. Seriously. Philanthropy stops being a donation and becomes a project, a way to shape the world a little. And you begin to feel a new kind of power. Not just spending power, influence. People take your calls, doors that were locked before swing open. Your money is starting to buy something more than comfort. It's buying a voice. Level 8, $100 million. At this point, you're not just wealthy, you operate the machinery of wealth itself. Wake up here and you don't have a job, you have holdings, you own companies, you sit on boards. There's a team of people whose entire purpose is to manage your life, your schedule, your properties, your money. The friction of ordinary living, the errands and the waiting and the admin, has been almost completely engineered out of your day. You have access now, not to products, to people, the kind of rooms where decisions get made, the private networks where a single introduction can be worth more than most people earn in a lifetime. But here's the counterintuitive part. Your main financial worry is no longer making money. It's keeping it. At $100 million, the game flips entirely. You spend your energy protecting and preserving this fortune against taxes, bad decisions, and time itself. Growing richer becomes almost automatic. Level 9, $1 billion. You've entered a club so small it could fit inside a single stadium with room to spare. And life up here breaks the normal rules of money completely. Here's the first thing that surprises people. Most billionaires don't have $1 billion sitting in a bank. Their wealth isn't cash, it's ownership. Huge stakes in companies they built or bought spread across the globe. On paper, they're worth a fortune, but that fortune lives inside stocks and businesses, rising and falling every single day. Wake up as a billionaire and you likely fly private. Not for luxury, but because your time is now calculated in a way ordinary people never experience. You have influence over economies, over politics, over the lives of thousands of employees. And you carry a strange new burden. Public attention, your name is known, your choices are watched and judged, your wealth barely responds to how you spend. You almost couldn't spend it fast enough to matter. It grows through the assets you own faster than any human could ever earn a wage. Level 10, the world's richest people. The names are familiar. Musk, Bezos, Zuckerberg. And their wealth is measured not in billions, but in hundreds of billions. This is the summit, and standing here, the numbers stop making sense to the human brain. Try this. If you'd spent $1,000 every single day since the pyramids were built in ancient Egypt thousands of years ago, you still wouldn't have spent even a fraction of what these people are worth. That's not wealth you can feel. That's wealth you have to try and fail to imagine. Wake up as one of them, and your net worth can swing by billions of dollars in a single afternoon, just from a stock price flickering up or down. In one ordinary day, your fortune might move more than most people will earn across their entire working lives. You don't check a bank balance. You watch markets breathe. But the real story here isn't the money. It's the influence. These few individuals shape the technology in your pocket, the platforms you scroll, the rockets pointed at other planets. Their decisions ripple outward and touch billions of lives, including yours right now. This isn't just being rich. This is holding a lever on the entire modern world. So there it is. 10 lives, from someone counting coins for the bus to someone whose fortune shifts the direction of civilization. And notice what actually changed as we climbed. Yes, the possessions grew, but the real transformation was quieter. It was security replacing fear, choices replacing traps, time replacing money as the thing that matters most. Here's the part worth sitting with. Most people badly misjudge both ends of this ladder. If you have a roof, a meal, and a little put aside, you are already wealthier than most humans who have ever lived, richer than you feel. And yet the distance from where you stand to the very top is so vast it barely fits inside a single mind. Wealth was never really about the money. It was always about what the money buys back. Freedom, peace, time. And that's something worth understanding. Wherever you happen to wake up tomorrow,